Hey, everybody! Welcome back to HollyFollyTV. It's your host, Holly. Today we're going to be talking about Normani and the many ways not only her Wild Side single has been sabotaged since its launch, but also she herself is being sabotaged. But before we get into it, I want to talk briefly about another artist who was signed to RCA label as well and says she was sabotaged. Her name is Tinashe. Tinashe was signed to RCA for 7 years, and according to her, she was not able to creatively showcase her talent, and her input in her music outside of her singing and dancing was not encouraged or accepted. She said it was taking a toll on her to the point where she actually cried when they forced her to change her album's artwork for her 2014 debut album, Aquarius. But she has since moved on and is independently doing her thing. And you can see that she's empowered and embracing herself fully. She recently launched her latest album, 333, which has a combo of neo-soul pop funk feel to it. It's a whole vibe. My favorite, as I mentioned in a previous video, is Bouncing. It's upbeat and hip, and I love the dance moves. You can find her album on Spotify and Apple, and I'll leave a link to her Bouncing video below. It's pretty cool. Now let's get into what's happening with Normani. Let me just start by saying Normani Corday is one of the best up-and-coming talent the music industry has right now, hands down. She's a complete package. She can sing, dance, she can deliver a great music video, and command a stage. She got stands from some of the music industry's biggest stars, including Beyonce and Rihanna, and she continued to raise her profile as an artist. But the music industry is brutal, and so in order for a new artist to not only survive but thrive in the industry, they need a stellar team. Does Normani have a stellar team? We'll look into that later. But first, there's more bad news for Normani. Or is it? Variety News Agency reported that RCA's Vice President Tunji Balogun is leaving to be CEO at Def Jam Records. Now, if you don't know who that is, Tunji has been at Sony's Music RCA since 2015 and was promoted to Executive VP in 2018. Now, shortly after that promotion, he entered his Keep Cool record label into a joint venture with RCA and then signed Normani to his label that same year, 2018, to be his first artist on his new label. So Normani is signed to RCA via Tunji's Keep Cool label, and now he is leaving to go elsewhere. So now what happens to Normani? Does she stay with RCA where clearly it's not working for her? Or can she follow Tunji to Def Jam? Is her contract with RCA up? All of this is up in the air at the moment. But one thing is for sure, the timing could not be more imperfect for Normani. I mean, so much drama and mishaps have already plagued Normani and her Wild Side single since its launch on July 15th. And now to be having this? I hope she leaves with Tunji to Def Jam. I do. Because RCA may be looking to shelve her as they did Tinashe, and we would hate to see that happen to Normani, who clearly has all it takes to be a successful artist. You see, RCA is an imprint in the music industry, which means that RCA does all the radio promotions and distributions, while her label executives, Tunji Balogun and Courtney Stewart, are responsible for signing her up for new gigs. And they also get a cut of the rights with financing and staffing from RCA. So Normani's records are actually owned and marketed by RCA. So I'm hoping her contract is up and she can leave with her exec, Tunji Balogun, to Def Jam. Now here's what's been happening with Normani Wild Side song and Normani. So Normani schedules her Wild Side single to be released at midnight on July 15th, which did happen, by the way. But that same night, just before midnight, her former Fifth Harmony groupmate and arch rival Camila Cabello released a snippet of her song just before midnight, same day. Cardi B, who is also featured on Normani's Wild Side song, hopped on an Insta Live session with Normani just before midnight. And a few minutes before midnight, she told her entire bardigang, who, if you know how loyal they are to Cardi B, you know they were watching. So she told them all to go now to YouTube and watch Normani's song, which they did. Here's that clip, which I really love so much.
It's 8:59. I think we should leave. And everybody go to YouTube right now. Go to YouTube right now. I'm nervous. I'm out. Everybody go to YouTube. Go to YouTube right now. I'm scared too. I love you. I love you too. Bye. Go watch the video. Wait.
Isn't that beautiful? I feel the love. So anyway, after the release of the song, many of Normani's fans, bloggers, and Cardi B critics went all over social media with their opinion that Cardi B should not have been on the original song, but on the remix. And it was kind of like a chorus because quite a few people were saying it. And somehow Cardi B got a hold of those comments and went off on one commenter in particular. Cardi B was so offended, she tweeted to her very large, loyal fan base that she will no longer be supporting Normani's Wild Side song and implored Normani to have her team remove her portion from the song. Here's a reminder of what she wrote on Twitter. Well, from this day forward, I won't promote or talk about the song, and tell Normani team to release a version without my vocal. Yay, now your wish and desires came through. Make sure you stream it though. Don't have me making calls for no reason. Now you and I know the last thing a new song need is negative drama. But that's what's been plaguing Normani and her Wild Side song since its release. And Cardi B did later apologize and told her fans to resume watching Normani's Wild Side song. But the damage was already done. Normani's Wild Side dropped 50 points on the Billboard's Hot 100 chart, from 14 to 64, okay? Then disappeared from the chart and from popular streaming platforms, and only reappeared after fans created a ish storm online asking, where is Normani's song? And it suddenly reappeared at number 83, then quickly moved to number 23. And now today, August 11th, it's sitting at number 61. Never heard of. Never. And if that's not enough problem and drama for Normani, Jimmy Fallon canceled her appearance on his show that was scheduled for July 20th. And 2 days later, Camila Cabello was able to get on the Jimmy Fallon show to debut her single. Camila Cabello, that same former group mate and arch rival of Normani, was able to get on Jimmy Fallon's show, but Normani couldn't? Normani was again recently scheduled to be on the Jimmy Fallon show this coming Thursday, August 12th. But if you look on the Jimmy Fallon show schedule, Normani is no longer on it. What in the world is going on? Now, like I said, the music industry is brutal from the top to the bottom, okay? And if an artist does not have a really good team who wants him or her to win and do everything in their power to make it happen, then that artist is already doomed. For real, for real. I'm just gonna say it. Normani's team suck. Since Normani went solo and has her own team, they have sabotaged her in the past, and this looks like a continuation of sabotage right now and in the future if Normani doesn't make the necessary changes. Like, where is that team that helped Normani secure a ton of opportunities when she first started? She was on a roll, y'all. She scored 2 hit collabs with Khalid and Sam Smith. Yep, that's Normani and Khalid in Love Lies. And that's Normani and Sam Smith in Dancing with a Stranger. She collabed with Ariana Grande and Nicki Minaj for the Charlie's Angels soundtrack, Bad to You. Yep. Normani opened for Ariana Grande's Sweetener tour throughout the US. Yeah, she did. So amazing. That's her right there. Y'all, you gotta watch this whole performance. I'll leave the link below. Wow, just wow. She blows me away every time. Like, she's so fun to watch, like a mini Beyonce. She also scored multiple brand deals and she got to be on the cover of several reputable magazines without even putting out an album. She's got the cover of Women's Health magazine. She got on Cosmopolitan's cover. She got on Bombshell and a lot more. Where is that team at? Because the team she has now is not the winning team. Normani is not on the winning team. Not right now. No, ma'am. Her current team is alleged to have turned down numerous opportunities, canceling her performance on the Graham Norton show, scrapping the collab she was to do with Dua Lipa. Dua Lipa was so excited about the collab, by the way. They turned down her collab with Annie Marie, which would have been huge for her, and even refused to be interviewed by multiple media outlets. Canceling performances and passing up opportunities like these will no doubt get Normani labeled as difficult, which most definitely will make her lose the support of the industry. All this is alleged, but if we look at what's been happening with Normani's latest Wild Side and the show appearance cancellations and God only knows what else that's not being put out here, this seems to be aligning with a situation where Normani's team burned all of their bridges. Think about it. Her team are the ones making moves and decisions for Normani, as they should. But imagine them canceling a show at short notice and doing it multiple times. Because you know they do talk to each other. We just don't see it. Those Jimmy Fallon, late night, whatever, they do talk. So imagine canceling last minute and having them put in a situation where they have to get someone new to fill in. It puts them in a compromising position and a bad lighting. Bad for business. Or imagine them having her walk away from deals that may not be feasible now in the short term, but may be a part of building a long-term relationship. You gotta know how to play the game if you wanna stay in the game. You know what I mean? And on the topic of whether or not Normani is suffering from colorism, I do believe that the industry would prefer to have a lighter-skinned girl be the it girl. But that hasn't stopped Lizzo, SZA, or Megan Thee Stallion from dominating their respective genres. Racism, colorism is always going to be an issue. But there are ways to get around them and get your bread like many others are doing in the entertainment industry. Lizzo, SZA, and Megan Thee Stallion are good examples of women with good teams who help them to dominate their respective genre. And no, they don't have the perfect team because no team is going to be perfect. And they go mess up sometimes and may not handle their role out the best way people may want them to. But what they do have is a team that knows the basics and use those basics to help their artists put their best foot forward. So I'm leery of blaming the shows for canceling Normani when it may very well be your team canceling her appearances. We don't know for sure. So have a serious talk with your team, Normani, or find a new team, a winning team. A team who wants you to win and knows that when you win, they all win. That's the team you need. And a team that will hold you accountable and help you to be more consistent. Not a song every 2 years. Nah, won't cut it. Now this may shed some light on what Tunji Balogun thinks of Normani. Back in 2018, RCA CEO Peter Edge did say that Tunji has an innate ability to identify an artist's musical genius and understands the potential of their cultural impact. So does this mean that Tunji was wrong on Normani? Does this mean that Normani does not quantify that musical genius and don't have the potential to impact the culture? Has Tunji lost faith in Normani? Is Normani a part of the reason for their internal conflict which they seem to be having at RCA? Or is it just that Tunji got an offer he couldn't refuse and have taken it? And what now for Normani? Is she going to stay with RCA or can she go to Def Jam? The next move on the chessboard will definitely let us know the answers. Because if Normani goes to Def Jam, we'll know that A. Tunji still has faith in Normani. B. Normani does quantify that musical genius and has the potential to impact the culture in Tunji's eyes. And C. That it's highly likely that Normani's situation played a role in the conflict they were having and may very well be the reason Tunji wanted out. Now, with Tunji being the CEO of Def Jam, with the faith he has in Normani and the freedom he has of calling the shots, Normani's career could catapult to new heights that would otherwise be impossible to attain. This is a perfect scenario in my eyes. I'm speculating that that's where the infighting at RCA comes in. They were trying to shelve Normani and Tunji is not having it. He sees and knows Normani's potential and will not sign on to sabotage her. All of this will come out later. Someone will speak on it. So the long and short is, Normani is still figuring out her identity as a solo artist. And as she releases more authentic music that multi-audiences can relate to, like her latest Wild Side song and video, she will begin to get a more solid footing in the music industry if her team markets her the right way, the winner's way. She has way too much raw talent and potential to be just a figurehead or fade into the background. Her team has prevailed in getting her gigs with Rihanna, appearing in music videos, and singing on movie soundtracks. But what is going to hold her in place in the industry is more of her own music, clear direction, and consistency from her team. Once she gets all these down, Normani will be unstoppable as an artist. So Normani, check your team, girl. Take stock. Are they hurting or helping you? You decide. And whatever you do, make more music consistently, not every 2 years. So that's it for today, y'all. Let me know what y'all think about this. Like, do you think Normani's team have mismanaged her and burned her potential industry bridges? Do you think Tunji still believes in Normani? Who do you think is sabotaging Normani? And what do you think her next move should be? Let me know. And don't forget to like if you like this video, share if you care, subscribe for more, and hit that bell so you know when I upload another epic video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!